We're here to unpack the latest research and breakthroughs, really give you the inside scoop so you can stay ahead of the curve.
That's right.
Today, we're getting into something really fascinating, this whole idea of taking control of your own biology. Slowing down aging, boosting performance, maybe even extending your lifespan. We're talking about biohacking. And look, it's more than just a trendy word. It feels like a genuinely revolutionary approach, sort of blending science with this proactive DIY mindset.
It really is. It's about agency, isn't it?
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive is to explore 5 specific biohacking strategies for longevity. We're drawing heavily from Dr. Chinta Siddharthan's article, 5 Biohacking Secrets to Help You Live Longer.
A really insightful piece.
Yeah, definitely. We want to figure out what these strategies actually are, how they work biologically, like deep down, and, what the science really says about their potential to add healthy years to our lives.
And I think it's important right at the top to set some expectations. Because while we're focusing on methods with, solid scientific backing,
Right.
it's worth remembering that some stuff you hear about in biohacking, maybe genetic self-modification or those implantable chips, well, that's still very experimental.
Very much so. And raises ethical questions, too.
Big ones. And they lack robust scientific proof right now. So, just to be clear, for this deep dive, we are sticking only to the evidence-backed strategies from our source. The goal is actionable, understandable insights for you.
That's a really crucial distinction. Okay, let's get into it. Strategy number 1, intermittent fasting. Now, I think a lot of people hear fasting and they immediately think diet or like constant restriction. But it's different, isn't it? What is it really beyond just not eating for a bit?
Yeah, you've nailed a common misconception there. Intermittent fasting fundamentally isn't about starving yourself constantly. It's much more about strategically cycling between periods when you eat and periods when you don't.
It's like,
Right. And this deliberate pattern encourages something scientists call metabolic adaptation. It's this really interesting, almost ancient shift in how your body finds and uses energy.
okay, that idea, metabolic adaptation, that's where it gets really fascinating for me. How does this metabolic switch, as you called it, actually work inside our cells to maybe boost longevity? Like, what's actually getting optimized?
Well, what's amazing is how intermittent fasting sets off several really powerful kind of cascading mechanisms inside the body. First off, it actively promotes autophagy.
Autophagy.
Think of it like your body's own internal, highly efficient cleanup crew.
Okay.
This cellular recycling system gets rid of damaged cells, proteins that aren't working right, old components, basically clearing out the junk to make space for new, healthier stuff. It's an active renovation project at the cellular level.
So it's like giving your insides a deep clean, letting your body ditch the old damaged parts and build stronger, more resilient ones. That sounds, well, pretty fundamental for slowing down aging, doesn't it?
Precisely. And beyond that really crucial deep clean, fasting also seems to significantly cut down on oxidative stress. You can picture that as sort of cellular rusting.
Right. Damage over time.
Exactly. And it dramatically improves insulin sensitivity. Your cells just get much better at responding to glucose. But the real core metabolic shift is moving from primarily using glucose for energy to using ketone-based energy.
Okay, let's pause on that metabolic switch for a moment. What's the practical effect of shifting from glucose to ketones? How does that help our cells stay healthier for longer?
Think of it like switching fuels. Glucose is like quick burning kindling, right? Ketones are more like a cleaner, longer lasting fuel log.
Okay, interesting analogy.
This switch is powerful because it basically tells your cells to optimize their power plants, the mitochondria, makes them more efficient, less likely to decline with age. And this also leads to a significant drop in inflammation throughout the body, which we know is a silent driver of so many chronic diseases. Plus, there's good evidence it activates sirtuins. These are sometimes called longevity genes.
Ah, yes, I've heard of those.
They're proteins involved in cellular repair and defense against aging. And finally, it can really shift your gut microbiota, the balance of bacteria in your gut, which we now know is critical for immunity, absorbing nutrients, overall health.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about weight, not at all. It's like a full system reboot at the cellular level.
Yeah.
The potential benefits sound huge.
They really are. I mean, studies suggest that doing intermittent fasting regularly might significantly lower your risk of metabolic problems like type 2 diabetes, reduce the chances of heart disease, and maybe even protect against neurodegenerative conditions by keeping the brain healthier. It's a powerful tool.
Given those potential upsides, though, it does raise a big question. Is this something everyone should try? I imagine it's probably not a universal fix.
That is such a vital point. It's absolutely crucial to say that intermittent fasting is not suitable for everyone. Definitely not. Anyone with certain metabolic disorders, women who are pregnant, or people with a history of eating disorders, they should always talk to a doctor or a qualified health professional before even thinking about trying any fasting routine.
Right, safety first.
Absolutely. And look, this is still an active research area. We need more studies to figure out the best fasting schedules, how long, how often, and also how to personalize it based on things like your genes or your lifestyle. It's definitely not one size fits all.
That's a critical safety message. Okay, so if we can trigger internal repair with eating patterns, what about using like external challenges to boost our resilience? This brings us to the next strategy, which sounds pretty intense: cold exposure therapy. We're talking ice baths, cryotherapy chambers, maybe even just a really cold shower. What's the science behind deliberately getting cold for longevity?
Well, what's really cool here, pardon the pun, is the concept of hormesis.
Hormesis, right?
It's this biological idea where mild, controlled stressors, like a bit of cold, actually trigger beneficial adaptations in the body. It's like a mini workout for your cells, pushing them just enough to get stronger and more resilient, but not enough to cause actual harm.
So a little bit of stress is actually good stress here. I think many people hear cold exposure and assume it's just for, elite athletes or something. Is there a way for an average person to get started? And can something simple like a cold shower actually do much?
Absolutely. It's about that controlled, beneficial stress.
Yep.
And yes, it's accessible. When you expose yourself to cold, it activates something called brown adipose tissue, or BAT.
Brown fat, not the regular white fat.
Exactly. BAT is specialized to generate heat. It kicks off thermogenesis, literally creating heat, and that boosts your metabolic efficiency. It burns calories to keep you warm, basically tuning up your metabolic engine.
Interesting.
Beyond that, cold seems to powerfully adjust immune function. It helps to reduce general inflammation, but also neuroinflammation, that low-grade chronic inflammation in the brain linked to age-related diseases. Wow, okay.
It also causes a spike in norepinephrine. That's a neurotransmitter linked to better mood, sharper thinking, and handling stress better. Some research even points to better cardiovascular health, improved blood vessel function, circulation. It's like a controlled shock to the system that trains your cells to stay youthful and handle future stresses better.
So a regular cold blast could potentially lift your mood, optimize metabolism, and even protect your brain and heart from aging. That's way more than just waking you up.
Exactly. The potential benefits are pretty wide-ranging. Improved mood, better cognitive function, more resilience to stress, and possible cardiovascular improvements. Definitely worth exploring.
But given how intense things like ice baths can be, there must be safety considerations, right? You probably shouldn't just leap into freezing water.
Oh, absolutely crucial point. You must take a gradual approach. Start slow to avoid harm.
Too much cold, too fast, can lead to hypothermia or put serious strain on your heart, especially if you have existing heart conditions. So starting with maybe just 30 seconds of cold at the end of a warm shower or applying ice locally is much smarter before trying anything more intense. And like fasting, we still need more research to pin down the ideal timing, how long, how often, to get the most longevity benefit with the least risk. You have to listen to your body, respect the cold.
Gradual adaptation.
God.
Got it. Okay, so if we've tuned our internal processes with fasting and toughened up our resilience with cold, the next logical piece seems to be fine-tuning the actual fuel we use. Which brings us to strategy 3, nutrigenomics and supplements. This sounds really futuristic, like tailoring nutrition right down to our DNA.
That's exactly what it is, and it's a super exciting field. Nutrigenomics is basically the science studying the complex dance between our genes, the food we eat, and our health outcomes.
Okay.
The ultimate aim is to get beyond generic advice like eat your vegetables, which is still good advice, by the way, and move towards really personalized nutritional plans, optimizing what you eat and maybe what supplements you take based on your unique genetic blueprint.
Okay, let's unpack that. The source article mentions some specific compounds getting a lot of buzz in the longevity world. Can you walk us through a few key examples?
Sure. One big one is nicotinamide mononucleotide, or NMN.
NMN.
Heard of it? Yeah, NMN is basically a precursor. It helps boost levels of something called NAD+. Now, NAD+ is like a vital helper molecule, a coenzyme, absolutely critical for your mitochondria, those cellular power generators, and also for DNA repair systems.
Okay, essential stuff.
Totally essential. But the problem is NAD+ levels naturally drop as we get older. So finding ways to boost it back up is a major focus in longevity research.
Makes sense. What else?
Then there's resveratrol. That's the polyphenol famously found in red wine. It's been linked to activating those sirtuins we mentioned earlier, the longevity genes, potentially helping with cellular repair and lifespan. And there are other powerful polyphenols too, like quercetin and curcumin, known for strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, both super important for healthy aging.
It really feels like we're shifting from broad diet rules to specific molecular tools. What about gut health? Does that fit in here? It seems like everyone's talking about the microbiome.
Oh, absolutely. The gut health connection is huge, and we're learning more all the time. We now know that probiotics, the good bacteria, and prebiotics, the food that feeds them, are critical.
Right.
They enhance gut health, which improves how you absorb nutrients and really optimizes your immune function. A healthy gut is like the foundation for longevity. And beyond these specific compounds, we can't ignore essentials like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, magnesium. They're all emerging as key players linked to lower risks of chronic diseases and better overall cell health.
Wow, that's quite a list of potent molecules. But it really hammers home the point, doesn't it? If nutrition is becoming this personalized, based on genes and complex interactions, then just grabbing a generic supplement bottle off the shelf might not be the best strategy. It could even be counterproductive.
Exactly. That's a really important takeaway. Supplementation is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all deal. It really must be tailored to your individual needs.
How do you do that?
Ideally, it should be informed by things like genetic testing, blood work, and definitely guided by a knowledgeable healthcare professional. Just taking high doses of stuff you don't need or that interacts badly, well, that can cause adverse effects, not benefits.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out the optimal doses and long-term safety for a lot of these things. So a cautious, personalized, informed approach is key. It's about smart supplementation, not just more supplementation.
It's amazing how deep the connection between diet and our genetic blueprint goes. Okay, moving beyond specific nutrients, our fourth strategy zooms out a bit. Regulating circadian rhythms. Basically, the power of sleep. Now, we all know sleep is important, but how is it specifically framed as a biohacking tool for longevity?
Well, quality sleep is arguably one of the most powerful and maybe most overlooked factors for longevity. And the science backing this up is getting stronger all the time.
Okay.
Consistently disrupted sleep isn't just annoying, it's directly linked to higher risks of really serious stuff, heart disease, faster cognitive decline, a whole range of metabolic problems like diabetes.
Wow.
When we talk about circadian rhythms, we mean our body's natural internal 24-hour clock. It's this complex system, largely orchestrated by the hormone melatonin. Melatonin isn't just about making you sleepy, it's crucial for the overall quality and restorative power of your sleep.
So it's not just the amount of sleep, but getting good quality, consistent, restorative sleep, ideally synced up with our body's natural rhythm. What's actually happening inside us during that optimized sleep that makes it so vital for living longer.
When your circadian rhythms are nicely tuned, it sets the stage for tons of essential biological processes. It helps maintain optimal hormone balance, think stress hormones, growth hormones, metabolism regulators. It significantly boosts metabolic efficiency.
Okay.
And during deep sleep stages, especially, really critical things happen. There's metabolic housekeeping, major immune system support, and maybe the most amazing part, active brain detoxification.
Brain detoxification, like literally cleaning the brain.
Literally. Your brain has the system that clears out metabolic waste products accumulated during the day. That includes harmful proteins like beta amyloid, which is strongly implicated in diseases like Alzheimer's. Sleep is when the brain takes out the trash.
Wow. So if sleep is actively cleaning our brains, just imagine the cumulative damage from years of bad sleep. That really puts its importance in perspective. Sounds like a non-negotiable for longevity.
It absolutely is. And the good news is the practices are often simple, though maybe not easy to stick to consistently. Things like maintaining a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends.
Right, the consistency.
Minimizing that bright artificial blue light at night while getting more natural light during the day, cutting back on caffeine and alcohol, especially later on, making sure your bedroom is dark, cool, quiet, maybe trying relaxation techniques before bed. All these things help support those natural rhythms.
Makes sense.
And the link between sleep and longevity is a really hot area of research right now. Scientists are constantly looking for better ways to improve sleep quality and fight off that age-related decline in sleep efficiency.
Okay, finally, strategy number 5. Neuroplasticity and cognitive health. This is about keeping your brain young and sharp as your age, right? How do we actually, biohack our brains to keep them working well long term.
Yeah, this last one is all about boosting neuroplasticity. That's the brain's amazing lifelong capacity to change, rewire itself, adapt, form new
The
connections.
ability to learn and adapt.
Exactly. It's about proactively ensuring our thinking stays sharp and flexible as we get older, not just passively accepting mental decline. Think of it as the ultimate workout for your brain.
So what are some of the key ways the source mentions to boost this brain flexibility? What can we actively do to sort of train our brains for a longer, sharper life?
While several strategies have quite a bit of research behind them now, meditation, for example, it's been shown to reduce stress-related neuroinflammation, which can really dull cognitive function over time.
Interesting.
Regular brain training exercises, things like learning a new skill, a language, doing complex puzzles, it can all help stimulate new neural pathways.
Use it or lose it, basically.
Pretty much. Now, when it comes to substances, some nootropic compounds, like caffeine perhaps, might offer temporary boosts in focus or alertness. But honestly, maybe the most powerful brain hack is regular physical exercise.
Exercise again. It keeps coming up.
It really does. Both aerobic stuff, like running or swimming, and resistance training, like lifting weights, are consistently linked with increased neurogenesis.
Neurogenesis. That's the growth of actual new brain cells.
Yes. The actual growth of new neurons,
Yeah.
and just overall better brain health and function. It's incredible.
It's truly remarkable that hitting the gym or going for a run isn't just for your body, but it's actively building a younger brain. Are there any sort of future-looking technologies in this space?
Yeah, the field's moving fast. The source mentions things like neurofeedback, where you can learn to train your own brainwave patterns, and even early-stage brain-computer interfaces as potential future tools for cognitive longevity.
Wow.
But for now, most research is focused on finding the most effective, accessible strategies we can use today, always balancing the potential benefits with ethical issues, and of course, safety. It's all about building a resilient, adaptable mind that lasts.
Okay, so pulling it all together, what does this mean for us? We've talked intermittent fasting, cold exposure, personalized nutrition and supplements, optimizing sleep rhythms, and boosting neuroplasticity. It really paints a picture of a holistic and interconnected path to longevity, doesn't it? Layer by layer.
Absolutely. I think biohacking offers this really promising way to optimize longevity, but the key thing, and we've hit this a few times, is that it absolutely requires a critical, informed, evidence-based approach.
Right, not just jumping on trends.
Exactly. While these 5 strategies we covered today have real scientific merit, and they offer powerful levers to influence our health span, well, their long-term effects are still being studied and refined. So the main message for anyone listening who's interested is approach this knowing that you need to refine strategies, personalize them ideally with some professional guidance to really maximize the benefits and minimize any potential risks. It's not about quick fixes, it's about smart, sustained effort.
That's a perfect summary. Empowering ourselves with knowledge, taking deliberate steps towards a longer, healthier life. And on that note, here's something for you to think about as you go about your day. Considering all these fascinating ways lifestyle can deeply impact our longevity and our quality of life. What's just one small, evidence-based change you might explore to start optimizing your own health span? Maybe even starting today.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time for more insights.